Neil Diamond's story is one of extraordinary success, painful setbacks, and a remarkable love for music that never truly left him. Born on January 24, 1941, in Brooklyn, New York, Neil grew up in a hard-working Jewish family whose roots traced back to Russia and Poland. As a teenager, he discovered songwriting and received a simple acoustic guitar that changed the direction of his life. While studying at New York University on a fencing scholarship, he was expected to pursue a more traditional career, but his heart was already somewhere else. He eventually left college to chase songwriting, even though the decision disappointed his parents. The early years were brutal. Neil struggled to make ends meet, faced rejection after rejection, and at times had barely enough money for food. But he kept writing, and eventually his persistence paid off. In the mid-1960s, songs such as Solitary Man and Cherry began establishing him as a solo artist, while I'm a Believer, written by Diamond and recorded by the Monks, became a massive #1 hit. Suddenly, the struggling songwriter had become one of America's most successful songwriters. Then came Sweet Caroline, the song that would define generations. Diamond later revealed that the song was inspired by a photograph of Caroline Kennedy and wrote it in less than an hour. The song became a timeless classic and eventually became especially associated with Boston Red Sox games. Throughout the 1970s, Diamond's fame grew even further with hits including Cracklin' Rosie and Song Sung Blue, while his legendary live album Hot August Night captured the extraordinary connection he had with audiences. He also took major creative risks, including writing the soundtrack for Jonathan Livingston Seagull and starring in The Jazz Singer, whose soundtrack produced memorable songs such as Love on the Rocks, Hello Again, and America. Behind the fame, however, Diamond's personal life was filled with complicated relationships and heartbreak. He experienced 2 divorces before finding lasting love with Katie McNeil, whom he married in 2012. After decades of touring and performing, Neil Diamond's life changed dramatically in 2018 when he announced that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and would retire from touring. At first, he struggled to accept the diagnosis, but over time he found a quieter sense of peace and continued creating music. His story later inspired the Broadway musical A Beautiful Noise, which explored not only his triumphs but also his loneliness, struggles, and vulnerability. Even after leaving the road, Diamond continued making special appearances, including surprise moments singing Sweet Caroline. From a Brooklyn teenager with a cheap guitar to a global music legend who sold more than 125 million albums, Neil Diamond's journey proves that success is not always about avoiding failure. It is about continuing to create despite it. His voice may have grown quieter, but the songs he gave the world continue to live on.